Hey guys, it's Kay from KS Anonymous, and I am back today with another episode of r/ChoosingBeggars. My first wild encounter. So I work retail, putting myself through college, and this lady comes in with about $500 worth of stuff. She proceeded to have me ring everything, and then when I got done, she goes, "Now, I think I should get to use your discount because I'm going through chemo." She was completely serious. And here's the thing, I'm going through chemotherapy as well for a non-cancer vascular issue, but it's still chemo. So I took the opportunity to share that news with her and tell her that I'm sorry and I know it sucks, but I can't bend the rules for her. She walked away from the counter and started grumbling about how I was probably lying because I wouldn't share and how I had no sympathy for her. So anyway, that was fun, and this was the first thing I thought to do after it happened. Imagine bringing $500 worth of stuff and just be casually being like, by the way, because I'm going through something, I'm basically entitled to your personal employee discount. Okay, thanks. Tantrum at a christening. I crochet as a hobby, and occasionally people will ask me for commissions. I have a price list already worked out. Anyway, my cousin A had a baby last year. I made the baby a blanket, cardigan, hat, and booties. I made them for free as my cousin lived with me growing up when her mom passed away, and I see her more as a sister. It was my gift for her. A used the blanket in the baby's newborn pics and also posted a pic on Facebook with the baby in the cardigan and tagged me in it. At baby's christening, another cousin of ours, B, came to me out of the blue. I haven't spoken to her in 2 years after a big falling out. No one likes this cousin. She was only at the christening because our grandma wanted her there. She had seen all the pictures of the blanket. She asked me if I'd do the same things for her that I made for the baby as her sister-in-law was having a baby. I told her my price list for it all, and she started laughing and put her arm around me saying, "You don't charge family." I refused to do it for free, and she had the audacity to ask me why I would make one for A for free and not her. One, it's A's baby. B wanted it to gift it to her partner's sister who was pregnant. She'd only been dating the guy for 4 weeks. I just said I really don't like you and walked away. A lot of the family thought it was hilarious and couldn't believe how B was kicking off, which only made B more annoyed, and she started throwing a tantrum. This was at the beginning of this year, around February. I've just bumped into B's sister at the shops. I haven't managed to see her since the christening because of lockdown. She has told me that B and her partner split up a couple weeks later. Apparently, one of the reasons was because of the whole christening incident. Partner said B embarrassed him as he'd never begged for free stuff and he would have paid the price. And that's a whole lot of yikes right there. Imagine finding out just how lovely of a person you're dating when they act a fool at the christening of one of their, I don't know what you call a cousin, or I don't know, their niece or nephew? I don't know. But yeah. Seamstress has had her share of CBs. I just wanted to vent some frustration on here. I don't know if anyone's experienced anything like this, but I've had countless messages from a friend asking me to make them clothes. So I've directed them to Pound Fabrics and Patterns and said, "You get the stuff then, and okay, I don't mind so much." No response. Today I receive, "Actually, I think I'm going to start designing, making, and selling clothes myself." I actually couldn't believe it. I don't think people understand the work it takes. And really, that's probably the most accurate thing. It's because people do not understand the value of people's time and effort. So they just think, oh, like, you can just snap your fingers and there it is. Like, it's not a big deal. I think they'll have another thing coming if they do try to do all that and realize how just rude they were to ask you to make them stuff for free. He then offered me $420 after his first offer, even though the description says price is firm. Gaming PC, $700. $500. Dude, what part of firm price don't you understand? Feck off. You came to me. Is the price negotiable? No, and even if it was, I wouldn't sell it to you for being rude. Great, sounds good. What sounds good? What sounds good? Customer. Do you price match? Me. Yes, with a written quote from another Canadian vendor or a screenshot of the exact item on their webpage. Customer sends me a screenshot of an American vendor with goods priced in American dollars. You know they are an American company and that's listed in American dollars. I can't sell you that for that price in Canadian dollars. You understand exchange rates and how they work, right? Well, then you're just not hungry enough yet. We are still in a pandemic, and I thought you would be trying to get any sale you can, seeing how so many businesses are going under right now. Selling you items at 50% under my cost is not going to happen. Sorry. Fine. I'll just order it directly from XYZ and have them ship it to me directly. So much for supporting local. You know you're still going to pay exchange to them plus shipping, duty, and their brokerage fees. I'll pay them with my American credit card, and there's no exchange. And shipping is free. I just get it sent to my friend's company in Blaine. They will not mind. No problem. Good luck. 20 minutes later. Hi, Blank. My buddy needs to ship a part for their car to your warehouse in Blaine. Do you mind? Let me guess. From XYZ company for a 19XX whatever? Yeah. No. Not possible. Tell them to wait till the border is open and get it themselves. But that could be another month. Yes, or they could just order the part with me and I will have it here in about 10 days. Oh, yeah. But it will cost him more. That's called business. I'm sorry I can't help you. Just gotta love people, don't you? I don't understand. Now, I'm in America, so I don't really do business. Like, I don't have to deal with, like, international things very often. So I don't know, but I don't think just using an American credit card means there's no exchange when you're buying from Canada. But I could be wrong. But, like, what the heck? I can't believe that they would ask for, like, half off and be like, oh, you're not hungry enough for me to give you this sale. Like, what the heck, dude? iPhone isn't good enough. So I have many examples of my mother-in-law being a choosing beggar as she lives off the government and my husband. But yesterday, my husband had to call the phone company, so it reminded me of this one. My mother-in-law hasn't worked since my husband was in middle school. At the time of this story, she was living in Section 8 housing with a 3-year-old she gained custody of. He's not biologically related to any of us. With her being home all day with another kid around my son's age, we agreed she would watch our son a few days a week while we worked. My mother kept him a few days as well. Mother-in-law had a bad habit of not paying her phone bill and having her phone shut off or getting a cheap phone that broke down constantly. Since she kept our son, we needed her to have a reliable phone. So my husband and I agreed we would get her a phone on our plan and cover part of the bill. She would pay us a set amount each month. That way, even if she was late, she would still have a working phone. My husband picked out the phones for all of us. He got new iPhones for the two of us and an older iPhone for his mom. She hated it. Not because it wasn't brand new, but because she had never had an iPhone and didn't want to learn how to use it. We told her the contract was signed, we were covering part of it plus the insurance, and it was a lot nicer of a phone that she has had in the past. I even gave her an old phone case I had that was really sturdy. She didn't like it because it wasn't decorative, so she got a flimsy one off Wish. She rarely carried it with her and often let the 3-year-old use it. We explained to her that it's expensive and fragile and she shouldn't just let him have it alone in his room. Well, as you can imagine, she didn't listen and he broke it. Cracked the screen pretty severely. When we got on her about it, she defended him saying, well, it was an accident. He just dropped it. He wasn't being rough. It doesn't matter. You don't give a phone to a toddler. We weren't upset with him, we were upset with her. We had insurance on it, so my husband took her to the shop to see how much it would be to fix it. I can't remember the exact price, but after insurance, it was a bit over $100. She started to turn into a Karen and complain. Well, why do you even bother paying for insurance? Husband said she can either pay to fix it or just deal with having to pay for a broken phone. She chose to just pay for a phone she couldn't use, but then stopped paying after a few months. Husband called and had the line cut off, but still had to pay the phone off. Mother-in-law somehow got it in her head that she could give the phone to her 11-year-old niece without telling us. Niece paid to have the screen fixed, but it still had issues and the line was disconnected, so it wasn't usable. She said once we paid the phone off, she could get it fixed and activated again. We said no. If we pay for it, we are keeping it. So we took the phone back. She is mostly out of our lives now. Husband won't cut her off completely, but we stopped letting our son go over there when she kept bringing in roommates, illegal if you have Section 8. Cops got called and certain substances were found on one of the roommates. CPS took the boy and placed him with another family member. He may come to live with us eventually. Still working out the details. We couldn't take him away sooner because we had temporary custody of our other niece while her mom was in jail. So yeah, that's my lovely mother-in-law. At least my husband's amazing. Now, obviously, the mother-in-law here wasn't very grateful and didn't seem to care much, but I feel like this situation, you kind of just gonna be honest about it on yourself when you bought her a phone without, like, consulting her on if she'd be able to, like, figure out how to use it. So you're paying for an expensive item that she doesn't even really want. So I, like, from the beginning, she didn't have any value to it, I guess. I don't know. Obviously, it was stupid of her and kind of dumb to be like, oh, well, they'll pay it off and then I can take it and do what I want with it. Like, that's not okay. But at the same time, I feel like you kind of accidentally got yourself in that place a little bit, just saying. I reject offer and this guy goes even lower. $220 Bose Bluetooth home speaker. Is this available? $170. No thanks. $150. Yeah, you're so if someone rejects a higher offer, going lower just isn't gonna improve your chances, but alright. Ma'am, I don't know you. Received .01 from blank. I need 544 SWC for 1,000 cash. Give me, please. What? I'm not familiar with the currency here, but no. So the situation here is someone selling a Switch for $280. Still have it for sale? Yes, it is. Can I get it for 10? What do you mean 10? Yeah, cause how long have you had it? Minus 100 each year, plus another 50 if you played on it, so around 20. LOL, that's not how products work. Update, he now bumped it to $50 for my convenience, saying nobody will pay more than that and what time he can come pick it up. This person does realize that the Switch has become a major hot ticket item the last few months and are basically impossible to find right now, right? Retail is a bargain price on a Switch right now. Right? And the fact I was selling it for $280? $280 would be way too much for a used Switch in a normal market. Right now, though, actually pretty reasonable. Best part is it's not even used. It's new? That's a steal. So this person wanted a new, never played on before, never box opened, I'm assuming, Switch for $10? Yeah, that's gonna fly. Homeless guy confused us. This isn't being way too picky or particularly long, but it is stupid and we are still puzzled by it. In the town I live by, there are quite a few homeless people, and my mom often gives them 10-pound notes when she has a spare. We saw a guy she hadn't seen before, and I'm not sure why, but she decided to not straight up give him $10. She saw a cafe down the street and asked them for a custom voucher to give to the man for a 10-pound meal. They wrote her one and she gave it to the man, explaining that it was a voucher for food at the cafe down the street. He thanked her and we kept shopping. Nothing weird. About a week later, we were in town again and stopped by the cafe to ask if the guy used the voucher yet. He hadn't. My mom thought it was strange and she kept checking every time we came into town. Eventually, about 2 months later, the man said he had burst into their store at closing, drunk as all heck, and demanding a refund for the cafe voucher to get the $10 back. The store owner told us he told him it was non-refundable and he flipped out, cussing his way out the store and down the street. My mom apologized for the inconvenience she had caused and we left. We still think it's stupid he flipped out for $10 when he could have had a meal. I'm assuming it's because he didn't want a meal. He wanted to use the $10 for something probably not related to a meal, but you know. Anyway, that is going to wrap it up for today's video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and drop a like and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Really quickly, I'd like to thank my patrons. Up on the screen, you should see my face palmers and my crazy K's. Thank you all so much for supporting me in that way. If you're interested in becoming a patron, checking out the original posts from today's video, or sending me an email for possible inclusion in a future video, all of that information is in the description box, so be sure to check it out. And I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye!